Before the fear kicks in, make sure you subscribe and click that bell notification so you won't miss anything. Ghosts, spirits of dead people. I feel a little bit left out because I've never seen a ghost. I read and watch stories and listen to people sharing their experiences, both frightening and weird. So I've come to think that I ain't got that spirit radar, I'm not sensitive enough. Or it's possible ghosts are actually frightened of me. There's nothing that special about me. So no ghost is gonna appear sitting at the end of my bed to scare me, cause they'll just get bored. If I saw one, I'd just tell them to move along, I ain't interested. I'm not entirely in touch with my emotions, but I do care about a couple of people. I still care about my daughter and my wife. I really messed up. Typical me. Behind my back, my wife's family would call me a waste of space. My daughter doesn't want to know, she prefers her new daddy now. He's got a proper job, and he's more sociable than me. Me, I prefer the company of dogs. They're therapeutic for me, especially in my recovery. But all the support and progress I've made doesn't matter anymore. My dead-by date has arrived, and I'm no longer afraid because the ghost that's coming for me, that actually has the strength and rage to reach out from the spirit world to return and get its revenge by physically damaging me, happens to be doing the right thing. I deserve to die for what I did. So let me take you back to the beginning. I moved out of the family home 3 months ago now into this 1-bedroomed apartment. My Xbox One X and 4K TV for company. I spent the nights playing online with the lads, my best friends that I've never met. And after killing time all night long, I sleep most of the day. I know I should have a routine and be disciplined, but I've lost any respect I used to have for myself. The terror started just under 3 months of me being in my new crib. There was no creepy sounds at night. If there was any, I wouldn't have heard them because I'd have had my headphones on. Volume turned up to the max playing Black Ops 4. There wasn't any of the gentle paranormal activity you see in movies, like slamming doors or furniture or cutlery moving, or weird unpleasant smells. And there wasn't any ghosts or demons again like you've seen in films. You know, the ones that suddenly jump scare you then make you laugh. No. What happened to me is real horror without any funny. All that stuff you've seen on screen is horror light. Pepsi Light horror stuff. And just for you to know another thing to add more colour to my personality, here's a bit more salt and pepper about me. I ain't religious. I ain't interested in what's been written by old men thousands of years ago as a way of creating social fear and control. And I don't mess about with Ouija boards or voodoo or any of that spiritual BS. It don't interest me. I simply don't care. Nothing ever spooked me. I used to be fearless until he returned. And you know what? Oh yeah, I would have done the same as him. I was pouring myself another glass of Australian red wine and it was a Saturday afternoon. After I placed the newly opened bottle down and turned to sit down, someone very strong came out from the shadows and literally threw me across the room, and I smashed into the solid wall. Within seconds after I landed flat on my back, totally stunned, I was being repeatedly punched in the face. The force from their fists knocked me out cold. The next time I opened my swollen eyes, I don't know, I might have blacked out just for a few minutes or longer. Through the swelling around my eyes, I noticed the quick shine of moving silver, just as the unwashed, sharp kitchen knife stabbed into my stomach. It was still daylight. Darkness wasn't hiding the thug who was attacking me. It wasn't someone wearing a hoodie. It wasn't anyone I recognised. This sounds crazy, but I swear there was no one there. There was no one physically to be seen. They didn't steal anything and leg it, done a runner. And I swear, I promise you from the depth of my soul, I was not doing this to myself. I thought ghosts only go out to scare people at night. But this vicious, unseen energy wasn't playing about. I could feel its pure anger, its total rage. I was bleeding heavily and the violence continued. It picked up my body off the floor like I was some old tatty, overloved rag doll, and it repeatedly threw and smashed me upwards into the ceiling. I was going to die, no doubt about that. Even if I had my phone in my hand, there's no way I'd have the strength to call for an ambulance. I passed out from the pain again, knowing I'd probably never wake up. This is my time of death. It was an unfair battle because my opponent was invisible, but during the carnage I did recognise its distinct smell. The brutal violence made me fall into a horrible dream. There was none of that light at the end of the tunnel BS, but in a white bricked room stood a teenager. He looked a little bit like me, but he wasn't me. He looked a bit like my ex-wife, but it wasn't her either. During this almost real dream, everything became clear to me. I understood what was really happening. No words were spoken, only the emotion of hate and anger. This ghost that attacked and killed me is the son I never had. He looked like he would have if he lived. He came back to take revenge on me for what I did 17 years ago, when I was someone you really wouldn't want in your life. I was a very different person then. Rewinding the time back to 17 years ago, I had an argument and I attacked my darling wife. I punched her more than once in her stomach, and she was 7 months pregnant. So you see now, oh yes, I deserve to die. The argument, whatever it was about, was so pedantic. I was shouting at my wife for overeating and not taking enough care of her appearance. How demeaning. I was a wicked person and she had had enough of my drinking. If I had to live my life again, if I could have a second chance. As Cher once said, if I can turn back time, I definitely would have appreciated my wife so much more. And never hit a woman, any woman. My beautiful wife had so many bad things already happened to her before I came on the scene, so the guilt and shame I have for myself has flooded and drowned out all other thoughts. My punishment now is far worse than what my dead son did to me. You see, I'm not going to be given another life to live and mess up. I'm in an empty world, nothing to see, no one to interact with. Just me staying in this white room with no windows or doors. This white room is now my forever home and it's what I deserve. I am a cancer of society. an author of unimaginable pain. No punishment is good enough for me. This white room in nowhere will take me into the depths of emptiness, loneliness and unbearable pain. I ain't blaming anyone else because I made certain choices and I'm totally responsible for the cruelty I put my wife through. Video games, brutal horror films and images from the deep dark web haven't influenced me. Right now I wish I was never born. Then the people whose lives are destroyed would have been safe. Don't feel sad for me or believe I can change. It's just too late now. My dead son has beaten me to death. I'll never wake up again in the real world. I will remain here in this nowhere space, this white room. This room is my forever hell, and my dear son will make sure my punishment is relentless. Thanks for watching. Go check out my online horror shop, Clown Merchandise, to protect you from demons. Click the link below. One of you listening right now is gonna have me knock on your window in 4, 3, 2,